Hello. For this podcast, I want to talk about the advertisement of steroids and how it could be positively or negatively influenced and persuaded on other people. To give off a background on steroids, steroids are a performance-enhancing drug that makes you stronger with more mass and less body fat and can also make you a lot quicker and a lot stronger. The downside to steroids are attacking on the cardiovascular system, shrinking of the testicles, and from personal experiences, roid rage, as in overaggression and temper being shortened by a lot. For the persuasion and advertisement of steroids, there's some examples in the community, bodybuilding and just athletes in general, that have persuaded steroids on other people but haven't meant to. So there is a very good Mr. Olympia athlete who's one of the best bodybuilders to ever do it. His name is Ronnie Coleman. He never took steroids in the beginning of his competition career, and he was losing by a lot. And then finally he decided to hop on steroids, and he was doing so well with it that he got into the Mr. Olympia, which all of the competitors use steroids there, and he won. And he said if it weren't for the steroids, his bodybuilding career probably wouldn't have been anything. And that's not good to say, like, health-wise, but he really made a lot of money off of it and was huge, and he was a big guy. And he is an advocate of not using steroids in the sense that if children that are just lifting weights to lift weights and not competing are using steroids, it's not okay, because he thinks using steroids for competition or a sport that you need is probably beneficial but not good towards your health, but it's your choice. But for the kids that just use steroids just to take steroids to get big, Ronnie Coleman is not a fan of that, because he thinks like you ought to just work hard for it, and if you work hard you could get it, as opposed to just ruining your health and your mental health over it just to take steroids and look good for a little period of time before the side effects kick in. And there have been so many kids that have taken steroids trying to be like Ronnie Coleman and influenced by him to where they commit suicide. And because the problems with their body just gets to their head and they just can't deal with it anymore, so they commit suicide, and that's it. And then it just ruins your life. So I feel like there's no way like a person can just say like not to take steroids. They can say that. But I feel like if you're not just looking for like what someone says, I feel like the actions of people and like their side effects and what they do, it can be persuasive for you to like learn from their experience that they just had and decide to not take it, and to just be open-minded to what you want to do, but be smart and to not take it, because if you take it, you're going to suffer and you're going to go through a really hard time. You won't be able to produce natural testosterone, and you're going to have a lot of problems with your body. You're going to have a lot of mental problems too, with like body dysmorphia too. So I say the mental health can outweigh the physical aspect, and even with the mental, the roid rage. There is a very good linebacker that used to play on the Denver Broncos. His name was Bill Romanowski. He got cut by the Broncos and went to play for the Raiders and took steroids at the end of his career. His roid rage was so bad that he got in a fight with a teammate in practice, and he permanently broke his teammate's eye socket and had to ruin his teammate's career, and he had to pay $415,000 to repair his eye. And I feel like that's another example where you could just look at it and you could be persuaded like, oh, I don't want to be like that. And that's that. You just don't want to have that happen. So sure, it might increase your strength, your speed, your muscle size and mass, your leanness, everything. But it does not end well in the long run.